Okay, so this figure summarizes how CO2 is transported out of the body from our tissues. Okay, so starting right here, I just want to remind you that the tissues, as they metabolize, are creating CO2. 7% of that CO2 enters the plasma as dissolved gas. Okay. Another 23% of that CO2 is going to enter the red blood cells and bind hemoglobin. Okay. Finally, the remaining 70% of our CO2 is going to enter the red blood cells where it gets converted to bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. Okay. That bicarbonate leaves the red blood cell in exchange for chloride ion, and the hydrogen ion binds hemoglobin and stays in the red blood cell. All right, after that, what's going to happen is all of this CO2 that's being carried in the blood is going to be carried in the blood until it reaches your lungs. Once we get to the lungs, as we breathe out, that CO2 is going to leave our alveoli, okay? As our CO2 leaves our alveoli, it's going to pull more CO2 out of solution here, okay? And then that pulling of the CO2 out of solution is then going to pull all of our other reactions in the opposite direction as what we saw up here. Okay, so just going over that, what's going to happen is the carbon dioxide that was bound to hemoglobin is going to unbind from hemoglobin to free up more free CO2. Okay. And then the other main thing that's going to happen is that we're going to have more CO2 formation from our hydrogen ion and bicarbonate. And in order for that to happen, we need to bring more bicarbonate into the red blood cell, which we do by exchanging it for chloride. And we also need to generate more H+, which we do by dissociating it from hemoglobin.